Ensign's log, Stardate 4. This is the 4th day I've been on the planet, and my food rations are running very low. The food I have collected is almost all spoiled. I am in dire need of getting the plants planted to start some farming, as well as my food processor up and running to process the meat that I've collected from the local wildlife. I have expanded my base quite a bit. It does not appear so from the top, and that is my objective, is to make it look like this base is not as significant as it really is, so that if any aliens do approach, they will be fooled by the amount and defenses that I have available to me. So in that note, I have expanded down into the Earth. I've found the Earth to be relatively solid once I get through the layer of sand at the top, and I have started to place various hull blocks crafted from my ship down in the base here. I've got the food processor crafted and ready to go. I believe I'm going to make this hallway here open up into a mess hall, so that's where we'll be putting the food processor. So I'll grab my drill and just drill into the rock a little bit. Hopefully my ship above is not so heavy that it falls down into the earth. Let's open it up a little bit so I have plenty of room. And this should be a nice place to go and relax and get away from the sun as it beats down onto me, as well as the wildlife that seek to take my life at every turn. Alright, so we'll take some building blocks here and build out. There we go. Ooh, sometimes it's difficult to place these. To do a little more digging. I'm out of charges for my drill. I'll have to make more. Okay. So in this room, I did not want to place that there. Alright, I'll get rid of that later. Let's put our, I should put my food processor somewhere easily accessible. This will do. To dig out a little bit more base. Let me go grab some more drill charges. I've noticed the constructor has a few additional commands that I was not made aware of in my basic training. If I press certain combinations on its keyboard, I am able to tell it to craft multiple items at once. Using the shift button, I am able to craft 10 at once. I am unable to cancel items once I have asked the machine to craft them. However, if I remove the items they are relying on to be crafted from the machine, such as taking out all these iron ingots, it will disappear and stop crafting. Hopefully in the Constructor 2.0 there is functionality to remove that. Alright, we needed drill charges. Fuel packs. I do have a drill charge. Okay. Apparently I did have extra charges on my drill. Okay. Let's give this food processor a little bit more space. And it's starting to look homey already. Okay. I will add walls later if I see any shifting of the earth above. But now we can examine the interface of this food processor and see that it allows me to craft all manner of food as well as medical supplies. Even the nice necessities of space fries. The food that I have available to me at the moment is above in my ship, so I need to bring it down here. Should like to put a cargo container to hold it all in until I'm able to craft a refrigerator. Let's put the cargo container next to the food processor, and we'll go upstairs and grab all of the food. I should like to do my ship eventually. It is quite in the way. We have drill charges for days now. Okay. The food that we have is in here. I don't know why crushed stone is in there. Alright, here's the food. You can see that most of it has indeed spoiled. Do we have any food at the moment at all? We do not. That'll bring all of the alien life as well as the plants that I will plant later downstairs. Sun is rising on day 5, lifting my spirits a bit. I think I might actually be able to survive on this planet. Okay, so the things that we can make from here. Purified water and plasma for a medkit. Let's focus on food, as medical supplies will have to wait. Harvesting wheat will give me flour. If I'm able to somehow cultivate a mule. I don't think whoever programmed these templates into the food processor was anticipating being stuck on an island or an alien planet with low light or low oxygen. You can see for an emergency ration, this was 1 day's worth of food. I need some raw material to wrap the ration in, some energy pills, 3 ham, a piece of bread, 2 space durians, 2 fruits, 3 fibers, 2 rock dust, and 5 purified water. We'll work to that, as this food is not spoilable. We can take it with us forever. It looks like the things we will need right at this moment would be more raw meat. So until the time when we're able to plant more sprouts, let's go borrow some raw meat from the local wildlife, if we see any close by. I have been up and checked out the iron deposit as well as the copper deposit. Both yielded very nice abundance of materials. Apparently I have scared off all of the wildlife that usually hangs around close by. Let's check the watering hole. None sighted at the moment. There we go. 2 Javas. I'm not sure if they are pack hunters. A Hydra in the distance. Thank you for your meat. And now for your friend. Always good to reload your gun before attacking an alien life. He did some significant damage. I'm out of bullets. I am out of bullets. I am out of bullets. Please leave me alone. Alright, he has turned and left us alone. That was almost the death of me. I have been poisoned. We need a medikit. Oh, crap. My health will slowly lower until I give myself the antidote. That seems to have fixed the issue. Replenish my oxygen. And let's worry about these wounds that have been inflicted. Using one of my small medical kits. Alright. We are good. Let's make sure we have plenty of additional bullets for our next encounter. That may be too many. Oh well, we'll craft as many as we can. Alright, with that raw meat, before it spoils, let's head down and see if we can craft with it. And I think I shall take 1 steak, 1 rib, and 1 salami. These being simple earthly terms for making nice food out of alien meat. Grilled Jabba steak coming up. Help if I remove it from there. Doesn't taste like chicken or cow or anything I've ever eaten, but it'll do. Alright, so the next thing I have on my task list is to scout through the remaining items that I can craft from my ship's constructor, and once I've crafted everything I can, upgrade to a base constructor and see what additional items are made available to me. I should like a color tool to be able to disguise my base from this harsh metallic color to something more aesthetic to the environment. We also have various building materials that we can grab. I think some of these interior blocks might be nice. If I look through the items marked with the red base level, we have a small generator, we have a fuel tank, and we have lights and a cargo box. So the last remaining items here would be a large constructor. Items that I need that I do not have are... Let's get those bullets. Okay, you're done. 2 computers, 10 metal components, and 4 cables. We need lots of cabling. Continuing my video log for the day, I have now completed crafting of the large base level, not generator, but constructor. I think a good place to put it would be on this wing, which I've now expanded a little bit, where I'll put all my storage as well. So let's dig this out a bit. This drill is not the fastest of drills. After expanding the room, I've decided to place the constructor over here, leaving a room for an additional one should I choose to make a second, and I will throw my cargo containers on this side of the room. Once again, let's rotate these. I'll build the walls at another time. The color tool allows me to cycle through different colors as I choose. So we've got blue, black, white, red, yellow, green, and the gray as the options. I'll come up with a nice color scheme eventually. For now, let's add blue to that wall. And a nice burgundy to this wall. I can also change the colors of my lights if I access my reactor. You can see at the moment we are consuming 14 kilowatts of power, although our max output is a megawatt. At the current amount of fuel that we have in our fuel tanks, we will last another 15 hours of space-time. These 14 kilowatts of power that we're consuming, we have 1 kilowatt for each of our lights, so we do need to be rather conservative with the amount of lights that we add, as each of those does consume quite a lot of power. But in this interface, we can change the lighting colors. So let's try a nice orange light, see how that looks. Looks okay. Maybe that color orange? No, I do not like that one. What about a green? Ooh, that looks kind of creepy. That might scare any aliens away. So let's set all of our lights to this creepy green. All right, each of those is 1 kilowatt. The small fuel tank obviously doesn't take any power. The generator creates the megawatt. The food processor can use up to 20 kilowatts when it's actually working, but in an idle state it consumes 1 kilowatt. So that's the core is 5 kilowatts, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the other 4 must come from the large constructor. It can consume 250 kilowatts while active, but while idle it consumes 4. Ooh, I'm not liking this green light down here. Alright, let's change that quickly here. Go back to the gray look okay? Now they're not giving off the right light. I must have accessed the wrong one. Alright, let's change them all to gray. I'll find a better color scheme later. But if we look in here in this very dark room, this constructor, we can see it has a number of new options. We have the elevator block, which allow us to go up and down inside our base. We have all the others we've seen before, and an interior light, which is a nicer looking light, and a round interior light as well. We have a medic station, which will consume power to restore my health, which is great. We have a oxygen tank to store all the oxygen bottles that I get back from my collector. The oxygen station, which is the same thing that's in my current ship, will replenish my oxygen when I get close. Speaking of which, I need to go access that quickly. Then we have the base level fridge, which takes quite a few components and a lot of energy, 5 kilowatts all the time, but it does completely negate the my food spoiling, which will be great because I can stockpile some food. We also have the large fuel tank, which can store more fuel, obviously. And then we have many more components to build ships with. We have a console, we have a gravity generator. Interesting. A science lab. I think this is how we do research with our materials that we've gained outside. And then more ship components. So I am getting mighty tired, running out of food, so I'm going to go ahead and eat something. Let's go ahead, what should we eat here? If it hasn't spoiled yet, let's go ahead and eat some ribs for tonight. Consume that. We'll go replenish our oxygen. I'll go ahead and take a nap, and when I wake up, we will work on some additional machines and the building of our base. This has been Funshine X, signing off my video log for the day. Bye.